Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope. Thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted, to address whatever topics you might like to discuss and whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships, whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind. God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here live in 3D, right here in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, scheduling permitted. And as always, our broadcast is brought to you by Earth's finest water, Fiji Water. You may already know that Fiji Water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable, artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from any human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery. And you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just water, it's Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. And for those of you who continue giving on the Give segment of our app at New Life Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com and NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, we thank you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here in the FijiWater.com sponsored studio. I'm going to begin by reminding all of our listeners and viewers that, first of all, we are Facebook Live, we are YouTube Live, we are live on RadioFreeNetwork.com. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, and the drop box will appear. Click on the New Life link, and every broadcast will be available to you at RadioFreeNetwork.com. So we, at the beginning of the week, started to address all of the communications that have been coming in about how do you become successful, how do you develop your success, how do you maintain your success. And so because there had been so many, and many of you talked about how you've heard me share about not only being successful, but about maximizing your success. And so we just kind of went through the communications and determined that we would respond to them because we couldn't get to them all. We would respond to them, pardon me, in groupings, and we would address success. And in addition to that, I'm going to pull communications from some of our listeners and viewers and just share a communication before we continue down that path of success. And so one of our listeners and viewers indicated that you're finding it difficult to find someone who wants the same level of success that you desire. It appears that, pardon me, most of the people that you have been dating don't have the same level of success, don't have the same desire for the same level of success. They're content right where they are, doing what they've always done. And you're struggling with that because you really want someone who has the same level of success, or at least the same desire, the same level of desire for success. So I'm going to say this to you. It's not possible to keep dating the same individuals, the same type of individuals, if you are looking for, or let me rephrase that, you're expecting God to place someone in your life who has the same level of success or desires the same level of success, which means they're going to continue working to be successful. You're successful in your own right. You're still working on maximizing your success, and you want someone who's going to be doing the same thing, even if they're not at the same level of success that you are at today. You want them to have the desire and to keep pushing for that success. So that's not a bad thing. And God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life some of what you're struggling with. Listen, don't let your family or friends talk you out of expecting someone who wants greater for their lives, for your life and their life. Someone who has a plan, someone who's working their plan, can't just have one and not work it. But don't let your family and friends talk you out of that. That's called having standards. That's called having an expectation. Knowing that God has an expectation for your life, and it's of good and not of evil. It's an expected end that is going to result in the benefits and blessings of the Lord. So you have to position yourself in different environments to make yourself available to different types of individuals. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to position yourself in charitable and philanthropic environments. You make certain that that's a good place to start, and I'm going to tell you why I say that. And I'm not talking about just going to volunteer for a charitable organization. I'm talking about placing yourself in a charitable environment. Find some charitable benefits, some type of, we're in the second half of August right now. Before you know it, the holidays will be coming. And at the end of every year, there's generally some type of function, charitable function, some type of holiday function that you can attend where you can meet different individuals. You can place yourself in an environment where there are going to be different types of individuals. So you're positioning yourself to meet those types of people. And when I say that, those are charitable and philanthropic environments that you can place yourself in, when they have their annual gala, when they have their annual event, you want to attend. Don't wait for someone to invite you, because the men you're meeting in the places that are comfortable for you, you've gotten in that comfort zone, they're not going to invite you to a charitable event. They're not going to invite you to a philanthropic event. They're going to invite you to, go out to eat. They're going to invite you to go to movies. They're going to invite you to go to the beach. They're going to invite you to go. But that's not going to give you the quality of life that you desire, the experience of success that you desire. So you've got to position yourself to be around different types of people. You've got to make certain that you're in an environment where people who are working every day to become successful and to maximize their success. That's what you want to be around. If you're looking for someone, and you are, and I like to change that up a bit, and the reason is because I want to get back to the basics. And the Bible says, he that finds a wife finds a good thing and obtains favor of the Lord. So you're really not looking, you're positioning. There's someone out there looking for you. He's searching for you right now. And when he finds you, he will find and decides to put a ring on it, to marry you, he will find a good thing and obtain favor of the Lord. But you've got to position yourself to be in a different environment than the environments that you've been in. And things are opening, well, we're opening more freely. We still have some things to do, being vaccinated, wearing masks, but things are opening more freely. But the places that you've been going, now some of these events, we hope will go off at the end of the year, but if not, there'll be other times. I say all of that to say that we have to recognize how important it is to get out of our comfort zone. So what you've been doing to date is going, when we're not sheltered in place and when we're not, when we weren't able to be out socializing as much as people are doing right now. You've been going to places with you and your girlfriends out to eat. You've been going to social functions now that things are opening again. But you're back to doing the things you've always done with your girlfriends. And that's not changing your environment. That's just socializing. And then the men who approach the two of you, approach you and your girlfriends, particularly two of you, they're the same men same type of men who have always approached you. What you have to recognize is that those are the same type of men who are complacent, who are satisfied where they are at this point in their lives. They're not looking for anything more. They're not working for anything more. They are just working every day to have enough money to go out and enjoy themselves. The sad thing about one of the sad things about our society today is that people really aren't focusing on maximizing their quality of life. They're not focusing on maximizing their success. They're not even focusing on being successful. They're just making enough money and putting themselves out there enough so that people will pay attention to them and that they have enough money to make the next party. That's unfortunately where we are in our society. So having said that, you've got to change your environment. You've got to make a decision that you're not going to hang out at, the most popular places anymore. You're going to change your environment so that you can meet a different type of individual. And you'll find that at charitable and philanthropic environments. So go to the art galleries. Go to, an auction. Go to, if it's being an auction for charity, go to any environment that is going to take you to the next level. So think about this. This is for all of our listeners and viewers. If you've been going to the same places that you've always gone, and you're still at the same level that you've always been, you have to recognize that those places and those people are keeping you comfortable at that level. You've got to go places where people are going to challenge you, and they don't have to say anything, but the environment that you're going to be in, you're going to look around and you're going to look at the people who are present, and they're going to inspire you to be better than you've been previously. They're going to inspire you to go to the next level. That's where you want to position yourself. And that's for all of our listeners and viewers. Listen, we have to be inspired It's great to be encouraged, but you also need to be inspired. Encouragement will inspire you, but you also have to be inspired. Sometimes you have to encourage yourself and then be inspired by what you see, what you observe, what you read. All of these things have the potential to lead us to another level of success. So I'm going to address the next steps for becoming successful right after I do a little business with the Globe, because this segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will place you into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. And so let me take you on the path to success. So, we've talked about defining our success. We've talked about some of the things that are necessary, some of the tasks that are necessary to perform to be successful. We talked about making a commitment to your success. I'm going to explore those things a little further, but here's what I want to say to all of our listeners and viewers today. You must renew your perspective about your success every day. Every day is not going to be a perfect day. However, every day is being perfected to get you to the next level of your success. So even in the course of our making mistakes, we learn from our mistakes. We then make a decision that we're not going to make the same mistake over and over again. It's one of the things that I love as a pastor about in the Bible, David, the king of Israel, who, one of the things I loved about David is that David repented of his sins, which means he changed his behavior. Every time he made a mistake, he would then say, I'm not going to make that mistake again. And he would focus on changing his behavior so that he wouldn't make that same mistake. And what I'm suggesting to all of our listeners and viewers is that if you really want to become successful and to maintain your success, you're going to have to make some changes in your daily behavior. We have to make changes in our daily behavior. So if you are someone who, I'm going to start here, stays up late at night, focusing on social media, watching television, not getting enough rest so that your cognitive skills are rejuvenated, your cognitive cells are rejuvenated so that you can perform at a much higher level, you need to change that behavior. We need to focus on trying to get a minimum of 8 hours of sleep a night. That should be our minimum, our goal. It may not always happen. You may be reading something, at least this is the case with me. If I'm still reading scriptures at the end of the night, the end of the evening, it may take me into a later hour because I may have had to do some work on broadcast, technology, investments, whatever the case may be. If I'm still reading late, it might run into a later hour. Instead of 9:30, it might become 10 o'clock. But what I'm saying is we want to make certain that we're getting at least 8 hours of sleep. Now, it may not always happen because that 10 o'clock might turn to 11 o'clock. Now, some of you might be saying, well, that's the normal time to go to bed. But it's not the normal time to go to bed if you're getting up at 6 o'clock because you're only getting 7 hours of sleep. And if your sleep's interrupted in the middle of the night, you might be getting 6.5 hours of sleep. Now, I know there are people who will say, but I can function on that. You can function on that. But are you performing at the highest level? That's the question we have to ask ourselves. And that's what we are trying to do every single day, to perform at the highest level so that we can become successful and we can maximize our success. But we have to change our perspective. So that's just one example. And then how do we see the day when we begin the day? So first thing in the morning, I encourage everyone, meditate for 30 minutes, pray, and then begin your day. You don't ever want to leave the house without having meditation and prayer. And if you have time in the morning, you may even want to read your scripture then. If not, find a time during the day to read one chapter every day. And I've encouraged our church to begin doing this earlier in the summer, but one chapter every single day. You start with the book of Psalms. There's 150 chapters right in the book of Psalms. That'll take you almost half the year. Well, it'll take you half the year, because when you get to Psalms 119, it's going to have different sections. So you want to read one chapter every day. That's something we should all be doing. That's how we get into a routine of searching the scriptures and rightly dividing the word of truth, because in the scriptures you will find your purpose. Sooner or later, the Holy Spirit is going to reveal to you your purpose for life. So those things we need to do to begin our day, that has to be our perspective on the day. It is going to be a good day. Once you've meditated and once you've had meditation and you've had prayer, there is nothing that should disrupt your day. That doesn't mean that bad things won't happen, because bad things do happen to good people. It doesn't mean that every day is going to be perfect, but what it means is that the day is going to be perfected to get you to the next level. In other words, you're going to learn something from the day, you're going to accomplish something from the day, and you're going to use that to further your success, to get you to the next level of your success. So we really have to have a renewed perspective every single day. Renew our perspective. It's real important that we understand the significance of seeing things from a different perspective. When you do that, you will begin to see that success begins to happen for you, because success is ever evolving. Success begins to happen for you one step at a time. You're making progress. And as you make progress, one step at a time, success will be manifested by God in all of our lives. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Under Armour Golf, which now powers the Junior League, a national league for boys and girls ages 6 through 18 of all skill levels. Under Armour is advancing the game of golf for all children ages 6 through 18, so that they can experience the game of golf, enjoy the game of golf, and have the opportunity to network at another level. Go to underarmour.com/golf. You can see what Under Armour is doing to power the Junior League. And if you have any other athletic needs, the great thing about Under Armour at underarmour.com is they have everything you could possibly need for any athletic activity you want to participate in. underarmour.com. I'm going to address another component of our success. And that is, and many of you have heard me talk about this just from building a better quality of life, and that is eliminating distractions. So I've talked in the past about reducing the distractions so that you can perform at a higher level, but you have to eliminate distractions and feed your focus. You must eliminate people, places, and things that are a distraction. You have to define what people are a distraction in your life. You have to define what things are a distraction in your life and feed your focus. Listen, you can feed your focus by ensuring you are reading everything about your career or business. You can feed your focus by really spending time focusing on reading up on how you can increase your wealth. How can you build and increase your wealth? You can feed your focus by really making certain that you are healthy body, mind, and spirit. In order to do that, you have to eliminate all distractions: people, places, and things. So let me tell you what that really means and how you break that down. Eliminate the people from your life who do not empower you to be successful. You cannot. There's all these cliches. There's all these adages, that say things like you can't soar like an eagle if you hang out with chickens. You can't soar like an eagle if you hang out with turkeys. There's a lot of things that talk about the people that we allow to take up space in our lives. You've got to eliminate people who do not empower you to be successful. You have to eliminate them. I'm not saying you can't love them. You can't spend time with them. And I don't mean you can't, if it's family members, you can't have them over on a Sunday. You can't spend Monday through Friday with them and expect to be successful. I'm not talking about friends, going out to dinner with your friends, every other week. I'm not saying you cannot love people. What I'm saying is you have to eliminate the distractions from them. If they're causing you distractions and distracting you from furthering your success, you need to eliminate them from your daily life. And what happens is as your success begins to increase, they'll remove themselves to a certain limit. You'll only see them at certain times and maybe on holidays because they're not focused on maximizing their success. So they're not going to be focused on what you're focused on. Stop going places that are distracting you. You don't need to go any place that you know is going to be a distraction to you. Now, for those of you who are drinkers, if you go someplace and every time you go to that place, you become intoxicated and wake up the next day with a hangover, you don't need to go there. It's not a place that's conducive for your success. You have to eliminate people, places, and things that are a distraction. So what are the things that are distractions to you? Those things that do not encourage you, inspire you, or teach you to be a better version of yourself. There's just no purpose. And I'm not suggesting that you cannot be entertained by something. I'm not, you just have to limit the time you're going to allocate for that. You have to really decide, I'm only going to give certain things a certain amount of my time in order that you can maximize your success. And you have to recognize how important the people you replace them with are in empowering you to be successful. You have to remember that you have to be aware of the places that you're going to go now to ensure that you have the opportunity to maximize your success. And you have to feed your focus. So read everything that you can possibly read about your career, about your business. Whatever success you desire to accomplish, you need to really feed your focus by reading everything that you can about that particular entity, so that you have the opportunity to not only become successful, but that you have the opportunity to maximize and preserve your success. As always, 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, is brought to you by Fiji Water. A taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. I am